We're now heading south towards Longreach. The landscape of Western Queensland fits perfectly the archetype of the Australian outback image. This is the land of wide brown plains, endless horizons, a land of cattle and sheep stations. Longreach is the largest centre for outback Queensland. The town has a population of around 3,000, and it's the service centre for a region as big as Germany and France combined. The National Stockman's Hall of Fame has its home in Longreach, and it's in Western Queensland that the national airline Qantas was inaugurated. Longreach settles on the Thomson River, part of a great river system of inland Australia. It swells into immense inland seas during wet times, but never reaches an ocean. And of course, Longreach is a major centre for transport, with a modern railhead and several trucking companies calling the town home.
Yeah, the trip you're doing tomorrow, Bruce, there'll be two of them go down there with probably 6 decks on each, down to, you get a load about 20 or 40 k's this side of Birdsville to come up here to the rail. They'll be all fat bullocks. They tell me the road's getting a bit rugged down there now. But
Gary Ballard runs Ballard Transport. His business has been running for 25 years, concentrating mainly on livestock, but diversifying into tipper work to meet the needs of Western Queensland contracts. We're travelling with Ballard driver Rob Morton in this mint-condition Kenworth T950. We'll be traversing most of outback Queensland in a 700-kilometre run down to near the southwestern town of Birdsville. The Kenworth is pulling 3 trailers, or 6 decks, to be loaded with Channel Country bullocks. The truck makes its way out of Longreach and onto the long, narrow stretch of bitumen, heading south. Rob has worked with Gary Ballard for an accumulated 8 years, on and off as he puts it. He obviously prefers working with livestock to other forms of truck driving.
Well, with livestock, you're not on one particular run all the time. You just load it, various places, and basically all over Queensland and the territory, and you'll be not running on one road all the time constantly. You're going to different places to load and unload. Through the middle of the year with the sales at Longreach, we've got cattle sales there every week, so in the middle of the week you're carting into the sales, and after sale you'll be carting out the sales, which could take you anywhere, but mainly down south and that. Then plus you've got the company work that you do from the Channel Country here. The majority of them go to feedlots like down south or to the Longreach railhead. From one week to the next you really don't know where you're going to end up, and because you're not on any particular route every week, eh?
The Kenworth has joined up with Gary Ballard's son, Ross's truck, also heading to Roseburth to load. A short stop is made at Junda while tyres are checked. After crossing the Thomson, the trucks leave the sealed road and head into the dirt. Working in these remote areas, drivers have to build up a diversity of skills.
Yeah, well, with working out west here, you basically got to be a mechanic and do all your own maintenance. We do all our own maintenance as well, so you got to have a bit of knowledge of mechanicals and whatever, right?
There's a brief respite at Windora, and then the trucks head out with the benefit of Seal Road again for a short period. There's time for a final tyre check at the point of leaving the sealed road. We won't be seeing bitumen again until we return to this point fully loaded tomorrow. Ross Ballard has a couple of willing helpers checking the tyres. His wife Janelle and two of the children have joined him for company on this trip. As the evening settles, there are no roadhouses in this remote region.
Yeah, well, it is like travelling out on these roads. You do have to cook up anyway because there's sort of no roadhouses or anything, but the lifestyle, yeah, it's more enjoyable. You pull up and cook a feed and everything, and it would be more laid-back than running express up and down the coast somewhere.
That appeals to you?
Yeah, I like that sort of lifestyle. I don't think I could handle running down south, you know, especially on the tight schedules they stick to and that, and traffic, in amongst a lot of traffic and that.
And at the end of the day, beside a road that is little more than a track, 150 kilometres from the nearest habitation, we cook up dinner. And it beats most truck stops that you're ever likely to walk into. After dinner, the night promises little, other than a lot of slow, rough miles and perhaps a few hours sleep at the yards before loading begins at daylight. Gary Ballard is the driving force behind Ballard Transport. He's been in trucking all his life.
I used to drive for Longreach Transport here, and I bought a truck off him and started on my own. Just a 2-deck unit it was, 2 open decks. Just started from there. Oh, I used to mess around with cattle too. When I first kicked off, I bought cattle when they were down in when the slump was on, and then the markets kicked me out a few, so that sort of kicked me along a bit. We got 30 decks here now of cattle. Ross, he's a young unit here, works with us, 6-deck unit, and I got 24 of our own.
Ballard Transport has a name for running good gear, and Gary proudly shows off his latest acquisition, a new Mack Titan.
This is a new one. We haven't even had time to get it painted our colours at this stage. When I picked it up, we wanted it in a hurry. I traded the other one in. But yeah, I really think this thing for comfort for a driver, and today you need all that anyway. Like this power pack here, it's got your 240-volt power for when you stop, for your air conditioner for when the driver's having a sleep, you know, them sort of things now, are just out on their own, I reckon. And the comfort in this thing, the way it's decked out, you know, you can hook the fry pan, jug, whatever you like, you know, it's as neat as you can get, I would reckon. Why not put them on them chassis on the outside?
After a long night on rough roads, the trucks are at Roseworth Station, and as soon as it's light enough to see, the loading process begins. Overnight, the 2 Ballard trucks have been joined by 2 subcontractors needed to make the 20-deck cattle lift. These fat bullocks will go from here to Longreach on the trucks, and from there to the coast by rail. After slaughter, the meat will go to Japan. These 500-kilogram bullocks are much heavier than the live export cattle we saw on Victoria River Downs. The cattle load well, urged on by the young stock workers and the manager of his family property, Jeff Morton. The role of the stockman was once the domain of men and boys, but today that's all changed and gillaroos are seen on most bigger properties. The trucks are loaded and parked up, ready to go, but the Mortons take the drivers over to the stock camp first for a cup of tea and breakfast. And it's time for the long haul north to Longreach. The trucks labour under the heavy loads of the big bullocks.
Yeah, this road at the moment, yeah, it's got cut up pretty bad, sort of, Birdsville races there last week, so yeah, it's cut up pretty bad to what it was before the races. But the majority of the roads, you know, at the moment is pretty reasonable, yeah.
At the first tyre check, one of the subcontractors' trucks has a flat tyre. This is the first of many flats for the day. The temperature soars towards 40 degrees. Drivers like Rob Morton don't have much time off to look forward to, even after a long run like this.
You know, if we're not going away again until, like, we'll unload late tonight. We're not going away again until Sunday, but, like, we won't have tomorrow at home. You know, there'll be repairs to do and servicing and all that before you go again. This particular run here, it's just a fraction over 700k. Well, that'll take about 12 hours by the time we get to the railhead at Longreach. Time-wise, you do a lot more hours, more than kilometres in this sort of job, because a lot of the work's pretty slow. You know, like at the moment we're probably only averaging 50 kilometres an hour. Eh? We'll probably do that for about the first 5 hours of this trip.
Another roadside tyre check, and there are more flat tyres to mend. The Ballard trucks are refuelled. Diesel is pumped under air pressure from big belly tanks under the trailers to the prime movers.
On our truck all.
And the trucks retrace their tracks of yesterday. Through Windora, the little cattle town on the Cooper. Over the Thompson. And through Junda. It's getting on for midnight when the trucks pull into the rail yards on the outskirts of Longreach. The bullocks are unloaded and will be fed and watered before being loaded once more onto rail trucks for their long journey to the coast.